Hi, my name is Aniket O, and this is the second part of the video presentation for pattern recognition project. This part includes the demo and the code of my project. So first I'll present the code that I have written. Uh, as discussed in the first part, the project was decided to be implemented in C because of the performance constraints of MATLAB. uh, we need to have input images of at least 46 by 46 pixels to get good detection accuracy, and if you give that large an input to a multi-layered neural network in MATLAB, then most of the times it takes more than an hour to train, and then also most of the times it runs out of memory. So uh, that's why we have implemented this project in C. For that, the constraints are that there are no standard image processing libraries or neural network libraries in C. So I had to write my own image processing and neural network library. So let's start with that. The first library I have written is the image processing library. This gives a basic functionality related to image processing, like there is an imread function which will read the BMP files. It can read color indexed or grayscale BMP files. Uh, that's why we use BMP files as an input in this project. Then so this is the code to read the BMP file. Uh, the image processing library also provides the functionality to uh, read the palette to in, to read the indexed BMP files, because most of the BMP files are indexed, so they have a color palette in their after their header. So this function will take care of that and read the images for you. Then mm I have declared an image structure which will have a BMP header structure and the data pointers. So the image data pixels will be organized in a two-dimensional array, or so, in the colored case, three-dimensional array. Each array of red, green, and blue will be stored in a different uh, plane of the three-dimensional array. Uh, then we also provide a functionality to convert the color image to grayscale, as I need to convert the red input character image file to the color to grayscale first, and after converting to grayscale we need to binarize the image. So the binarize function in the code will accept an image structure and a threshold value, and it will set all the values, all the pixel values more than the threshold value to 1, and those less than the threshold value to 0. Then conversion from color to gray can be done in three ways. They are luminosity, averaging, and lightness. Luminosity is basically weighted averaging of the pixels, because the human eye is more sensitive to green color. So the luminosity uh, conversion takes care of that. The averaging method is the simple average of R, G, and B values, and the lightness method is average of the minimum of the three and maximum of the three values. So this library provides the functionality to read the image, to convert the image to grayscale, and to binarize it. It also provides the functionality to free the image structure, because we have to utilize the memory very carefully. This is a memory intensive operation, so after every iteration we have to free all the images that we have created. I have also written functions for calculating the covariance of an image, then finding out the principal components. This is done by doing using Gram-Schmidt method. So first we find the covariance of the image matrix, and then we find the eigenvectors of the covariance matrix. Eigenvectors are found using QR algorithm, which uses QR decomposition in using Gram-Schmidt method. So that functionality is there in this image library. This can be further used further to improve the quality of character recognition by using the principal components as an input to the neural network instead of the raw image. Then the next library I have written is the neural network library. It has the basic functionality of initializing a neuron, then freeing the neuron memory, perceptron learning rule. So these functions, perceptron update and perceptron update output, are used to uh, do perceptron learning. Then there is a function initialize ANN, which will generate an ANN structure. It will allocate the memory for neurons in each layer. It will allocate the memory for inputs and outputs. It will set the activation functions of the neurons. Mm, Then there is a free ANN function which will free all this memory. We have to be very careful about the memory in this case, because as the length of the input grows and the number of layers in the network grow, we risk running out of memory. Then I have also written the functions for error back propagation, which computes the delta error for output layer and then propagates it backward through all the layers. So this code is actually for error back propagation. And then there is a forward propagation function which will propagate the input through the network to produce an output. I provide linear activation function, bipolar activation function, step activation, and tanh activation functions. Then there is the main program which will use all this functionality. So first uh, first it will initialize an ANN using an initialize ANN function. After that, it calls a train function which will parse parse the supervisor data, because we are using supervised training, so we need an expected output for every training sample that we have. So that is done by parse supervisor data function. It reads the file supervisor.txt and then populates an array of uh, character file names and the expected result for that character file. And then the training function does number of epochs defined at the start of the file. It in every epoch it will iterate over every training sample. So for example, suppose there are 50 training samples and there are 100 epochs, then the total number of iterations will be 5000. So as we can see that this is a time consuming operation. So this is where MATLAB runs out of memory and takes more than an hour to run. But after implementing in C, we get the result quite fast, like in 10 seconds. Uh, After training, I have written a unit test function which will run the unit tests on some standard test samples. It will print the actual result and the expected result for those samples. After that, the program will prompt us for an input. We can input it an image file name. After inputting an image file name, it will produce text character. The program can be compiled using uh, GNU C compiler, and we have to link the image and neural libraries. Here in at the start of the program, I have used those two libraries in the main exerciser program. After reading the program, we first get initializing the layers. So it is initializing the neural network layers. Then the training process takes around 10-15 seconds. After the training completes, the unit tests have completed, so it says starting the unit tests. And here we can see that the expected result is one, actual result is expected result and actual results are matching. Now we can uh, enter an image file name, and it will parse that image file and produce an output. we can give more inputs to this program, and as we can see that it's producing the correct results. The tricky part is similar looking images, similar looking characters like U and V. So it produces the output after proper training. If we do not do the no, enough number of epochs, then there is more error in the output. So uh, this code is available on GitHub. uh, you can watch that. You can contribute to that. I would like to extend this further and take this to uh, next level, improve the image and neural libraries, and improve the character recognition functions. Okay, thank you for watching.